I've been through a serious ordeal. Now, naturally, I've only had an appendicitis, just an appendix surgery to remove my appendix. But nobody besides me and God knows the spiritual fight and the wars and hell threw everything at its kitchen to try to take my life. Simple as that is, the enemy tried to use that at the time to try to take my life. But how many know that whenever the enemy thinks that he's one step ahead of you, that God have you 10 steps ahead of him? What the devil meant for evil, God turned it around for good. He turned it around for good. And some of you wonder why I always try to sing. It's because if I could have sing like I really wanted to sing, like I really wish I could have sing, I'd have been doing some damage up in here. There's a song that kept me after the doctors woke me up after putting me to sleep several hours. The chorus of the song says, "Where would I be? God only knows." Mika, you can play that. And Randy, you in any condition to sing that? You're in no condition to sing it. Who else knows who can sing that? I need to hear that song. That kept me. I've been 2 straight weeks in that place. This song kept me. Mika, you know the song? I need you to play the song for me.
Where would I be? You only know. I'm glad you see through eyes of love a hopeless case, an empty Oh, empty space. Oh, hopeless case. Yeah, I don't know what been for grace.
When you were young and cornered, as a young man, you have your little girlfriend. First thing you go is you go to first base. I'm not talking that. I want you to picture a baseball field or a softball field. A baseball or softball field. Any ball plays in here? Yes, for the judge. Yeah. Corey, you still can play ball in. Corey, yes, coaching, girl. team in here? Any other ball players in here? Who play baseball? Who know the game? Yeah, quite a bit. You know, the Bulldogs. Every time I look at the newspaper, I see the Bulldogs marching up the teams. Apparently they're good. What is it, softball there? Apparently they're very good. I want to talk about first base. See? I don't want to talk about second base. I want to talk about third base. And they have fourth base too, right? Third base, right? And from third base home? Okay. So I don't want to talk about second base. I don't want to talk about third base. And I don't want to talk about home. I want to talk about first base. See? First base. First base. Not second, not third, or home. I want to talk about first base. See? You understand? Because as a young Christian, I would always start out on the mound. That's what it is. Yeah. Right? Yeah. And when you try to get to first base, you try to punt. That's the right word I use in Brother George. Punt. Bunt. You try to bunt so that you can get to first base. A bunt wouldn't get you to second or third base. Normally, because the ball is basically rolling on the side somewhere where people got to run and get it. So you sure that a bunt will get you to the first base. That's what I'm going to talk about. But as a developing Christian, the only thing I aimed for was to knock home run so that I can come from off the base, get home. See? I'm going to talk about first base. If you have your Bibles, turn to 1 Timothy chapter 3. 1 Timothy chapter 3. It's good to be back here. You know, I counted the weeks that I was out. From I've been on mission to the DR, and including vacation time, it was 3 Sundays. And then when I came back, I was able to preach about 3 Sundays here until I went into the hospital. So altogether, I was on the pulpit for 9 Sundays. 9 weeks, 9 Sundays. 9 Sundays I was out. 1 Timothy chapter 3. I just want to read a few verses, but there's only one verse that I will teach on today. 1 Timothy chapter 3, verse 1. This is a true saying: if a man desire the office of a bishop, he desireth a good work. Now, this is a transitional message that the Lord is giving. Transitional. A bishop then must be blameless, a husband of one wife, vigilant, sober, of good behavior, given to hospitality, apt to teach, not given to wine, striker, not greedy of filthy lucre, patient, not a brawler, not covetous, one that ruleth well his own house, having his children in subjection with all gravity. For if a man know not how to rule his own house, how shall he take care of the church of God? Verse 6, not a novice, lest being lifted up with pride, fall into temptation and into the condemnation of the devil. Moreover, he must have a good report of them which are without, lest he fall into reproach and the snare of the devil. I want to look at verse 5. That's the verse I want to focus on today. First base. For if a man know not how to rule his own house, how should he take care of the church of God? For if, these are in brackets, look at these carefully. This book is Timothy, but Timothy is not the author. The Apostle Paul is the author, writing this to Timothy. There's a lot in this particular chapter with these 7 verses, but I want to focus on just verse 5. For if a man know not how to rule his own house, how shall he take care of the church of God? How shall he take care of the church of God? At the end of that, there is a question mark. And whenever there's a question mark in the scriptures, it means it is open for you to view. It's open for you to talk about it. It's open for you to give an answer. First base. There are 3 aspects of first base that I want to talk about. And that is the order of how we view our personal relationship with God. That's what I want to talk about. I want to look at the order of how we view our relationship with God. This message is entitled First Base because there are some things that you got to do first before you can get to second base, and before you can get to third base, and before you can get home. And so God has set some things in order. Someone asked me the other day, that Eve was there with Adam while God spoke with them in the cool of the day, and they suggested that Eve was with Adam. We're talking about first base. Those of you that are taking notes, number 1, Adam was alone with God when God spoke to him. For if a man do not know how to take care of his own house, how shall he take care of the church of God? Adam walked with God alone in the cool of the day. I'm going to give you some homework so you can study. So Adam walked with God in the cool of the day, just him and God. As a believer, your first responsibility is your first base. Your first responsibility is to you and God. You and God. When God speaks to you, you answer. And you said, here am I, Lord, I'm here to do whatever you say to me. It's you and God. It's you and God. When God made man and breathed in man So what did God do? God breathed a part of man within man, a part of himself within man, so that man could have the capacity to walk and talk with him. Think about this. If any physical man today even see God, he will die. If you see God in your flesh, you will be home in glory. But why is it that I don't have the capacity to walk and talk with the true and the living God? It's a Hebrew word called theophanies. The theophanies of God. What is theophanies? It is God coming down in the form of a man and being able to walk and talk with man. And in his theophanies, God held Adam's hand and spoke with him and said, "Buddy pal, what are you doing today?" And the scripture said that they walked and talked together in the evening worship. Your relationship with God means everything. Mommy can't answer for you on the great day of judgment. Husband can't answer for you. Wife can't answer for you. Children can't save you. God made man with the capacity to walk and talk with him. And you got to be able to walk and talk with God. You can't see him like Adam see him, because we know that Adam kind of screwed that up for us, right? Sorry, Adam. Oh, thanks. So the first thing that we have to tend to is getting to first base. Finding out how is it that I walk and talk and cultivate a relationship with my Lord, and not only talking to him, but more importantly, him talking to me. Now I know this all so well because you know what? There are times that you would pray and pray and pray and pray and pray, and you could pray for hours. But nobody have never told you that the greatest form of prayer is meditation, listening to the voice of God. That's why God made you. That's why he made you with 2 ears and 1 mouth. Simply because God wanted you to listen twice as much as you speak. God is always speaking. God is always talking. He's always saying something. But it's up to us to get to first base, to hear God and to hear him clearly. Amen. And when we don't hear him clearly, you know what happens? Sometimes he puts you in a place where you got to hear him clearly. Say amen, Pastor. Amen. I've been in the hospital. I lay down and got boring in the hospital. Day to day. Wishing I could get out of that bed. While the Lord's speaking to me.
Thank you, Jesus.
While he's speaking to me. And then on top of that, he sent quite a bit, an overwhelming amount of people that came and said, Pastor, you know what? God says that you work too much. You need to rest. The Lord told me, the Lord sent me to give you a message. Man of God, God said you've been going too much. You need to rest. I'm talking with one after the other. Even one or 2 persons in this church told me it.
Thank you, Jesus.
Because God is more interested in me getting to first base than me getting to second or third base.
Amen.
See? break it down for you. So our relationship with God is what is important.
Thank you, Jesus.
Your relationship with God. That's first base. What is your relationship with God? That's first base. Now watch how this ties in. Because I remember saying to my wife once, well, not once, a few times when we just got married. She would tell me something, and I would say, I listen to God. God don't tell me that. You can't tell me nothing, woman. Say something, somebody. Don't leave me here by myself. Say something.
Thank you, Jesus.
You're wise. Be quiet. You're wise. Be quiet here. You hear me, man? Don't mind me. This ship been sailing so long with me, huh? She can leave me now. So when we got married, I was like, no, I listen to God. God tell me this, God tell me that.
Thank you, Jesus.
My first base was God, God, God. And I have kept that as a measuring stick. So when people come to me and say, Pastor, God tell me to do this and do that, I ain't touching it. Now if you say, Pastor, I ain't sure, could you direct me or could you help me? Then I would give my counsel. But once you say, God, I step back. You're on your own. That's above my pay grade. First base. So when I said, God, God, tell me, and God, tell me, and man, you know, we like to do that. I listen to God. Look at the chapter what I read, verse 5. When God speaks to you, you have to obey. You must obey when God speaks to you.
Amen.
But if you are married, all of this right in the same verse, the same chapter. If you are married, there has to be some sort of compromise, some sort of agreement with your spouse if you're married. I was famous for that. God tell me this. You have to have agreement. Why? Because let's just say God tell me to come to Abaco. And my wife didn't agree with me coming to Abaco. You think I come here on my own? Without her? Remember, people, first base. God is not the author of confusion. So, if my wife ain't in agreement with what God say to me, and I'm sure that that's God, what do? Leave her? No. I pray and continue to pray that God changes her heart and her eyes be open. And if it's truly God, believe you me, people, God can find a way to speak to that woman.
That's right.
Especially if she's a Christian. So God is the first place I get. Secondly, it is my spouse, my family. See, we get this thing all mixed up, you know. It is my relationship with God, then it's my relationship with my wife. That's why I told you that Adam was in the garden, and Adam walked and talked with God in the cool of the day. Just Adam and God. Just Adam and God. See? Secondly, it's your wife. It's your wife. It's your husband. It's your spouse. It's your relationship is the second thing. I'm going to move through this fast. Because I heard watch people. And one thing in preaching was always know is how to be sensitive. Good? That's for all you upcoming preacher. Don't preach no hour. Pastor only preach 30 and 40 minutes. Don't preach longer than me. Okay? Secondly, it's your wife. And then the third thing is your ministry. Now, if you ain't married, then ministry. But ministry is the third thing. So while I was growing up, I thought everything was ministry first. Ministry. It's a difference. There's a difference between your relationship with God and your ministry. There's a difference between your ministry and your family. There's a difference between your family and your relationship with God. But in our culture, we throw all in one basket and then we choose what we want to choose. I was on a panel once and it was a serious panel. And it was about who do you listen to, your man of God, or you listen to your husband? You better doggone listen to your husband. If worse than we better listen to your husband. I don't care if he's slave or he's a drunkard. You all don't like this kind of teeth there. Some of y'all like this kind of teeth because you all know I said the truth. And it's based on the scriptures. The Bible says that wives, if you are wise and you listen to that man, even if he is saved, just by the mere fact that you are obedient unto him, the Lord will touch his heart and he will change. That's what the scripture says. Look at it in Colossians. Read it in the book of Colossians. The Bible said that man will look at your relationship, how pure and how chaste you are, and God will smite his heart and he will give his life to Jesus Christ. Amen. Come on, man. There are women all over that can say, my husband got saved because of me. So your first response is to your God. Amen. It's to your Heavenly Father. Then secondly, it is to not your ministry, it's to your spouse. Husbands, it's to your wives. Wives, it's to your husbands. And God fixed this like this because God is in heaven looking down and he is saying that the two things on earth that you all need to deal with is ministry and your house. Amen. See? So I had to do some introspection. I had to look at myself. And I say, God, sometimes I feel alone. God says, are you doing it right? I said, I don't think so. He said, well, make sure you take some time and you make sure